couple of videos ago, I did a video on the dark side of living frugally. And yes, same t shirt because why not? But today we're going to focus on the light side of living frugally. So, like I've mentioned in my last video, part one, everything that I talk about on my channel are things that I've lived through so that you're always getting someone's experience, not just something that I've read from a book and I'm applying it to you. I've spent 20 plus years, 25 years plus or minus, living frugally from the beginning where I'm trying to figure it out and finally get to a habit to the point where I don't even think about it anymore. It's just something that I do. And the last video was talking about the dark side of living frugally and how you get to a point where you're really denying yourself. Now, today I'm going to focus on the light side of living frugally. Now, if you've gotten to the point where you've already made the steps and it's become a habit of living frugally, and you're used to the saving money to a point where you don't even think about it anymore. So what's the light side of living frugally? The light side is that you have disposable income. Full stop. You have disposable income. You've got the money to be able to do, for the most part, because our incomes are different. I do want to put that out there. Our incomes are different. But if you're at a point where you've been doing it for so long, you should have something to show for it. Doesn't matter how big or small your account is, you should have something to show for it in a positive way. And the light side to that is that you do have something to show for it. So if you wanted to go to a coffee shop once a week and just, sit and chill for like an hour, you can afford to do that without even having to think about it. The light side is going to the grocery store and you've gotten so used to shopping in a certain way, sales or price points, or you know what you need to get and you don't really have to think about it anymore. You stop looking at the price. And I know that's like shocking for some people, but you do actually kind of get to that point where like it's not that you don't care what you're spending at the register, it's the fact that you're so used to doing the same thing all the time that it's not something you have to pay attention to anymore unless it's something ridiculous. Um, like soy milk, for instance. I remember one time I did a video on exploitation of people with the food allergies and stuff. And, that's something I'm still going to get it. The price is still going up, but I don't have to worry about the price going up 5 times in 2 years because I have the money to cover it. That's one of the light sides of living frugally is that you have enough of a buffer or enough of savings going on that you can cover that without freaking out because the price went up 5 times in 2 years. I mean, really, why is soy milk going up 5 times in 2 years? Please. Oh my God, I went to Publix like 2 months ago and I saw the price of soy milk. That was the price from like 4 years ago. And bet your booty, I bought a whole lot of it as much as I knew I could go through without it going bad. It's ridiculous, right? But that's the point that I'm trying to make is the light side of living frugally is when you get a buffer and you've got enough money coming in that like you don't have to worry about it because you've paid off most of your debt. So that money's not going toward debt. It's just going to the bills that you need to like live every day. You don't have to worry about that. So that's one of the examples I have for living on the light side of frugality. Another example that I'll use is crafting. As I've mentioned before, I'm a knitter and a crocheter, and I remember when I first started my frugal journey, as it were, trying to price yarn is a stressful thing because it's your craft, it's your hobby, but you can't really afford to get what some people would call nice yarn. I'm not in that category. I think there's a yarn for every project if you're a crafter. Um, but my point is that I spent so much time at the beginning worrying about how much I'm spending on this, that, and the other, and getting coupons and this, that, and the other. And the light side to living frugally is that I've spent so much time over the years, paying off the debt that I don't have to worry about that anymore. We have a buffer, et cetera, that I don't have to worry too much about buying yarn that is on the luxury end. Now, that being said, because I've kept those habits of living frugally, I do actually have a budget max. Like I I'm not trying to pimp my business because my business is unofficially closed. But when I did have my business, I never sold yarn for higher than what I would pay for it. And that's kind of how I live my life. If I go to like a yarn store or anything like that, I will not pay more than what I would have sold my yarn for. So, but I don't have to think about how much I'm paying for it either. Like, okay, $20 for this, $25 for that. It doesn't hurt me, because I'm at the point now where I've got enough of that buffer that I don't have to worry about. That's the light side of frugally. Living frugally is that the things that we want to enjoy, the things that are self care, we don't have to stress over because now we are at a point where we've created enough of that cushion that it's fine as long as you're not going overboard, because there is a difference between going overboard and treating yourself, right? So that's something I don't have to worry about as much anymore, is doing that. And plus I have a thrift shop, an art thrift shop that I can go to that, keeps it within, I would say, my budget, because I'm not going to spend $400 on yarn. I'm just not. But that's because that's my baseline that I've created for myself living frugally for so long that I still have benchmarkers. Is that the right word? I still have maxes. Like I refuse to go over a certain amount because I know if I do, then I'm going to end up hurting myself in some way as far as debt or dipping too low or whatever. So, but that's just something that becomes a benefit to living frugally. So, if you've been on the journey of living frugally for a long time and you're starting to see the benefits of that lifestyle, what are some things that you no longer really have to stress about when it comes to shopping or self care or hobbies? Do you go to the coffee shop and not have to worry about, putting an extra shot of something into your coffee? Do you go to the grocery store and pick up an extra item and not worry about it because you can cover that and it's not stressful anymore because you've lived to a point where now you've got that cushion and you don't have to worry about it? So, what's it like for you? Let me know in the comments. And if anything in this video resonated with you, please give it a like and think about subscribing. And I'll see you next time. Bye.